What is important in this scene is that the beginning was actually freestyle.
You're born false witness. An innocent man is facing execution. Now.
Jedwa has killed Aga. Jedwa will pay for this. Jedwa has killed Aga.
He's hiding in Germany.
My nephew was murdered by Jedwa.
Did I hear a question?
You were a witness to it.
My name is Mark Kofi Jr. I'm the writer and director of the film Detor, The Rise of the Warrior Hunter. Today I want to break down one of the scenes with you and share the process from writing right through to the finished cut. Let's talk about the treachery of Badu. But before we do that, let me tell you a bit of the story. Detor, The Rise of the Warrior Hunter is a historical fiction. It's set in the 17th century and it weaves together some of the folklore that we're familiar with and some of the less familiar stories of the Ewe people. Basically, we've all heard about King Agokoli. We probably have heard about his nephew or relative Jedwa and the fact that he had to be sacrificed. We've probably heard of Achuchala and Echechali. We probably don't know much about their father, Amega Detor Akromada. And our story focuses on Detor Akromada, but also weaves a story around the historical characters and the folklore. Of course, it's a historical fiction, but it's based on historical events. So I started the writing process by doing a lot of research and tried to understand what is available, and there wasn't much. But we dug deep and found enough to weave the stories together. Once we had a story and we had consulted some of our partners to ensure that the story was something that we could tell and would form the basis of a film, we partnered with MK Casting to help us with the audition. And it was during the audition that I was overwhelmed and surprised about the pool of talent that we have at our grasp. Many names that you all are familiar with, but probably will be surprised to see them all in this project. One of my favorite scenes was the treachery of Badu, where a gentleman whose nephew had been executed as part of the rituals after a king in the Ewe kingdom passes. Badu takes a different view of the tradition and challenges what was status quo at the time. Well, basically in this scene, we meet Badu when he has, should I say, tricked the Mochi people into thinking that Jedwa has actually murdered somebody. When we went for the audition, I think Solomon Fixin O was one of the first characters that came in. Our partner Malco of MK Casting used the slides for scene 77, which is the treachery of Badu. You know, we had a long day, but when Fixin came in, you know, he was obviously prepared. We got him to take his positions, and for the first maybe 15, 20 seconds, I was lost. I mean, Fixin was sitting there talking to himself, and I was wondering what the hell is going on. Little did I know he was actually playing out the description of the scene, and probably the only person who did that in the whole audition process. So here he was playing a warrior with himself, speaking to himself, and then he breaks into the performance. And I have a clip here which I'll share with you.
Aga, what are you doing? What are you doing? That's not a move. Come on. Listen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you move these two, what are you doing? No, you are not supposed to do that. Come on, what are you? You must be the clever one. It looks like you found this.
So after the auditions, we went on location, and after the auditions, I decided that the performance from Solomon Fixin O would actually help us set the tone of the kind of quality picture we wanted to shoot. And also the cast and crew would see the level and the standard of performances that they would come to expect. So the Treachery of Badu was one of the scenes that we shot in the early days when we went on location. So of course now we are doing some rehearsals, we've got the general gist of what we're going to do, and then, AD1 calls for action. And then again, Fixing O just blows us away. Again, you'll see a couple of the clips. What is important in this scene is that the beginning was actually freestyle. Detor and Jifa show up. Aga is sitting with Badu. He sees them coming, and then he responds. And you'll see that in this clip.
You can't speak? I know the placements. Don't try that with me. Not today. You must be the clever one. Looks like you found us.
You have borne false witness. An innocent man is facing execution.
Innocent. Jedwa is not innocent.
But you accuse him of killing Aga. And here he is, live and well.
All right, so at the end of most of the scenes that we were shooting, I realized that the performers just kept acting and kept performing. So basically, AD1 and myself and our DOP, PKMI and Kwame Buedi decided that we would give them some bleed time where we would delay the call for cut. And we got a lot of magic moments, including this part of the scene which is actually kept in the final edit, where Badu just goes into his own element. Again, there's a clip here I want to share with you.
Jedwa is facing execution for the murder of Cersei.
What? Who is Cersei?
Exactly. My nephew was murdered by Jedwa, and I believe you were a witness to it. Now my sister is without a son.
Cersei was King Agos. Cersei was the soul of King Agos.
You are indeed very, very clever. And now the irony. Jedwa killed my nephew, and now he will die by the hand of his uncle. If that is not justice, what do you call it? You will not make it back before sunset. Justice will be served. Come in here talking about innocence.
Now, when we got to editing, of course, we had seen the audition, we had seen the performances on set, and we knew we were going to have a magical moment whilst editing. And I blame some of the delays in post-production on this particular scene because myself and my assistant, KH Kojoham, watched this scene literally hundreds and hundreds of times because the performance was just out of this world. But it made editing live very easy. We didn't have any hassle. Our difficulties were actually deciding which cuts not to use. So I'm going to leave you with the final cut, which shows up in the film. And I hope you all enjoy this. Detor, The Rise of the Warrior Hunter, is going to be an amazing piece of Ghanaian history that we should all enjoy. Thank you.
The look of a guilty man.
My brother.
I know you cheated.
Oh, me.
You can't speak? I know the placements. Don't try that with me. Not today. one. Looks like you found us.
You have borne false witness. An innocent man is facing execution.
Innocent. Jedwa is not innocent.
But you accuse him of killing Aga. And here he is, live and well.
Jedwa is facing execution for a crime he has committed.
What crime did he commit? The fight was a fair one. He won fair and square.
Should I tell him? Or will you?
Jedwa is facing execution for the murder of Cersei.
What? Who is Cersei?
Exactly. My nephew was murdered by Jedwa, and I believe you were a witness to it. Now my sister is without a son.
Cersei was King Agos. Cersei was the soul of King Agos.
You are indeed very, very clever. And now the irony. Jedwa killed my nephew, and now he will die by the hand of his uncle. If that is not justice, what do you call it? You will not make it back before sunset. Justice will be served. Come in here talking about innocence. Don't tell me to calm down.